So we have found the middle of the fairway here on the par 4 second. We've got about 150 yards to go. We're uphill, we're into the wind. Typically I would take a 7-iron for this shot. That's about my 160 yard shot because it's playing, I'd say, a bit uphill, a bit into the wind. But we've got a downhill lie, okay? Now we know most of the time we're on the golf course, we don't get that flat lie, okay? So we're on a downhill lie. What do we do? Well, the first thing we need to understand is that if we're on a downhill lie, that's going to slightly de-loft the club, okay? So from a normal lofted 7-iron, as soon as we're on this downhill lie, that de-lofts the club. So I'm actually going to swap my 7-iron for my 8-iron. Okay, so we've got the 8-iron here because ultimately when we're in this downhill lie, the key thing, like on most short game shots, we need to match our weight with the slope, okay? So if we're on this downhill lie, then I need to get my weight favoring the slope, okay? So think about where your shoulders are. Naturally, we're going to feel like we are this way, perpendicular to the slope, okay? In terms of that ball position, that's going to be pretty central, okay? If anything, a hair back, okay? You think about what we're going to do. Naturally, we're going to hit that ground slightly earlier, so we're going to just move it back ever so slightly. But the key thing is around this weight positioning. Get the weight, get the shoulders tilting this side, okay? And then really, you know, from a swing point of view, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to swing down the slope, okay? So very much, again, you think about this ball being, you know, on this downhill lie. I want to feel like I'm always swinging down. And I think this shot in particular, for a lot of amateurs that do tend to get a little bit on that back foot trying to help it up, this is a shot people tend to struggle with. So it's all about trying to get perpendicular to the slope, keep that weight forward, and then very much trying to swing down the slope, okay? And again, because it would normally be that 7-iron, this 8-iron will allow it to get a little bit more up in the air, very much in that position, okay? So ball in the middle, gonna get my shoulders perpendicular. I'm gonna feel my weight a little bit more on this left-hand side. And then let's see this ball come out, hopefully, like normal. Okay, so that's come out really nice. Tracing pretty much straight on the flag there. So yeah, very happy with that shot, okay? And the big thing there, the strike was really good, okay? So that tells me that my weight was on top. It was leaning and turning down the slope, okay? So let's just try one more. Good ball position, get that weight favoring the slope. Feel like I'm swinging down the slope. Again, coming out pretty good. Again, it's coming out lower than a normal 8-iron would, but again, that's exactly what we'd expect. So now we have got the uphill lie, okay? So we're going to follow the same principles. If you think about this uphill lie here, I've got about 120 yards. We're uphill, we're into a bit of a wind. So I would normally go for, on a flat lie, a pitching wedge. So now because it's an uphill lie, I'm going to go for the 9-iron, okay? And we're going to follow that same principle. So if you think about on the downhill lie where we'd match our weight in this sense, now we're just going to tilt back ever so slightly, okay? So the ball's going to stay pretty central, but I'm just going to tilt back ever so slightly. Again, you don't want to get too extreme, but you want to feel like you're just matching that slope, feeling like that body is perpendicular to the slope, and then naturally you're going to feel like you're swinging up, okay? Again, because of that gradient, that slope, the ball's naturally going to go a bit higher. So just taking that club more in this case. And again, you know, for me, if it's really severe, so if we're on a big slope, then actually controlling that club face can become an issue. If it's just a slight slope, then we can still get that weight transfer. But think about it, if that weight is tilted back a lot, then we may get club face issues, generally flipping it left. So we might need to aim a little bit to the right, okay? But here, I'm going to take my normal ball position. I'm going to tilt back a little bit. I'm going to allow for that ball going a little bit higher than normal. And we're going to treat it exactly the same. Nice strike. As I said, a little bit higher than normal with my 9-iron, but that's come out really nicely. Okay, so principles all around matching your weight to the slope, whether it's that downhill lie or the uphill lie. If it's downhill, take an extra club, match that weight down. If it's an uphill lie, take an extra club to allow for that extra loft. Hope you found that useful, guys. As always, if this is your first time watching the channel, please like and subscribe. Post any comments down below. I look forward to seeing you again very soon.